Hello everybody, my name is Rossi McKee. I recently transferred to this lovely community, which I deeply cherish. Coming into a new environment was refreshing and helped me in many aspects of my personal life. That I would not give up and trade for anything. I have always been greatly enthused about learning about psychology. How do people's minds work? What thought processes do they go through when they make decisions? These are questions that have always intrigued me and made me eager to learn more about them. I decided to do my personal project based on my interest in psychology. My goal was to deepen my knowledge about what exactly occurs in a person's mind when they make decisions about self-discipline. To narrow that even further, I wanted to learn about the negative effects on one of self-excessive discipline. I gathered my inspiration for this topic through a series of events that occurred in my life. Growing up, self-control was something that surrounded me. It was vital that I learn to cope with having self-control. Though self-control has been a maxim for immemorial, when taken to the level of obsession, it can become a deadly weapon. Sadly, I let it slip through, and it made daily events difficult to cope with. I had always had an interest in my topic. Throughout the years, I slowly added more and more knowledge about negative effects of self-discipline. I did this by observation of my surroundings. I would study the people's behavior in different circumstances, make my own conclusions, and then back the information up with research. This led me to mature much quicker emotionally than my peers. The two global contexts that I selected for this exciting journey of learning about self-discipline were relationships and identities and personal culture and expression. I thought that these global contexts were a perfect match for my topic. The mentality of self-discipline is all about personal beliefs and psychological health. Negativity affects humans' emotions, and therefore personal expression comes in place. This is the way one reacts and learns how to cope and resolve issues. Learning about this topic would aid one to learn about themselves and be able to evaluate themselves more clearly. By doing so, they could enhance their studies, habits, and relationships. I defined my goal early on when I commenced this project and had a clear vision of how I wanted to approach it. I decided that I wanted to create something to represent the negativity spurred by obsessive self-control. I wanted to examine studies done about the negative effects of a good trait that many aim to have and to write an article about what I found and my personal views on discipline. I ended up creating a short video, conducting interviews and surveys, and recreating the marshmallow test with some of ISI's first grade Mandarin students. I created an interview that inquired about the interviewee's personal life in depth. I selected people by knowing about the people's life experiences. I chose people who had experienced some sort of trauma and people who have characteristics of workaholics. For the surveys, I asked a couple of my peers to answer questions about their daily habits and how they deal with stress. My video was created with the inspiration of what I had previously mildly experienced. Obsessiveness over planning comes hand in hand with self-discipline taken overboard. I thought that recreating one's mindset on video by showing every action one takes, planning out, timing, and not being able to concentrate because of the ongoing thoughts are all main effects that occur when the brain is overwhelmed with self-discipline. Personally, I believe that I was able to accomplish a lot. I was able to grasp a better understanding for all of my questions that I had when I first began the project. I was able to understand the psychological side of decision-making when under excessive self-control, and how one is able to overcome one's natural instincts. I learned a lot about some side effects that have been caused by obsessive self-control and learned about the effects themselves as well. I faced some difficulties while learning about my topic. I began the personal project 2 months late. I was not clear on what the project was, how to do it, and what I wanted my outcomes to be. I knew that I wanted to explore the psychological side of excessive control, but did not know what global context to use, how to form my products, and what was required by the MYP criteria. I learned that balance in life is extremely important. Discipline is needed in order to successfully achieve one's goals. It is required to be able to have order and discipline, but be able to relax and listen to one's body without overcoming natural instincts. When discipline is taken to the extreme, that is, when it becomes a negative thing, that's when a problem occurs. Life is all about balance. There were many interesting studies conducted concerning self-discipline. The famous Stanford marshmallow test was just one of them. Aggression, sadness, and lower cognitive skills were just some of the negative side effects caused by obtaining the quality that may help one in many different endeavors. All of the studies that were conducted offered me a tremendous amount of knowledge that was incredibly useful. The numerous articles that I read concerning self-control, along with different medical conditions, helped me put the information that I had obtained into specific situations in order to personalize the study. I want to thank everyone who helped me with this project. My supervisor aided me whenever I needed her and offered me some great advice on all the ideas I had. My parents offered me support emotionally and physically. I would also like to extend a special thanks to everybody who agreed to conduct an interview with me. The information that was shared was very useful and helped me expand my knowledge on the topic. Lastly, to everyone who completed one of my surveys, thank you so much for sharing such personal information with me. I could not have been more thankful for all the incredible support from my peers and my mentors.